Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in my lab. I'm back in the book. I gotta get up out of there. I got some other stuff I'm trying to get to, but they got me hooked in here. I'm doing the 4 great truths. Right now, we're gonna do number 3. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka to know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to, know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through, because that's what I do. Let's go. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. Let's go. A person who knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. So you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is a present. Is dangerous. Avoid them. Same thing. Sorry about that. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know. There's a lot of y'all. I appreciate you. Teach them, okay? I can awaken you. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my eye be true. We had great truth number 3. And this is one of my favorites because this is the difference between a fanatic, a fan of God, a true follower and understander of God, and those fanatical who blindly just, I believe, with no real rhyme or reason. So this hopefully can clarify some of y'all and get you to better understanding. Let's rock. Great truth number 3. The third great truth is what they call Ushu, Nafu, and Sau Set. I'm speaking Egyptian, okay? This is called demonic. But it means devotion to divine. We didn't have a word for God. God was divine. Divinity was godly. Get it? So when you hear divine, that's God. Okay, so now, devotion to God, in modern terms, my philosophy say the divine. Same thing. Devotion to divine does what? It leads to what? Freedom from what? The fetters of Set. Who is Set? Your ego, your low-level consciousness with all they want, material world. The devil's domain is the material world. Why? Because it's materialistic, and those who love material things love this world. That's Set. That's the ego. It loves it here. It loves it here. Why? It don't know God. It is God out. It think it's God. Sound familiar? I'm the only God. Yes, I know the God before me. That's all ego. Excuse me. You just getting started. I'm in rare form. But this is a good lesson because it's all about God, your concept of it. You need to have an understanding, not just blindly, I believe in God. I believe in God. I know Allah. Lesson time. Let's go. This is all about learning. I'm trying to get you to understand good information. And when you say the fetters of Set, that's your lower nature. That's you living out your pleasures of the flesh, okay? In the material world. Ain't nothing spiritual about the ego. Ego has no spirit. Understand that. Moving on. So Set relates to the fetters that you employ yourself by doing things out of ignorance and for a reason, hidden agenda, all those kind of things, okay. But now, as spiritual enlightenment dawns, when you raise your conscience, when you want to do better, you aspire to be a better person, you start to change. And there will be many new feelings that will arise. Why? Because a new world heretofore unknown by your mind has been accessed. We call it the Akashic Records, where all the information that you need to know is at your disposal. When you reach self-knowledge, nihas, that's what they're trying to tell you. Moving on. It's not a place. It's a state of mind like heaven and hell. Okay? But devotion, right there. Devotion means purifying one's personality. How? You ready? By dissolving one's ego. It didn't say kill it. It didn't say destroy it. It said dissolve. I say conquer. We say put it in service position so it will serve you. Why? It's a good servant. It's a hell of a servant. Your ego is the best servant ever, but it's the worst leader ever. So that combination of leading is not good. Why? It's not good at that. Servant is very good at that. Put it in servitude position. That's what you need to do. And when you do that, everything else take care of itself. Why? Because with the ego behind you, he gonna fight and keep fighting. He's that dog that's inside you, okay? And depending on how big it is, depending on how much you got fighting you, then you can now begin to what? Discover the real world in which enlightened sages live. Learning the lessons, learning the teachings, and that's fine. But if you're not practicing them, implementing them, living them, they won't work. Like religion, if you don't follow the commandments, put in the work that you're supposed to, it won't work. That's why a lot of people fail. And why? They ain't doing the thing they need to do. And they wonder why. They think nobody knows. If what you're doing ain't bringing you success and benefiting, what they tell you? Other people, like they just progress, they just moving and grooving. Yeah, you still stuck in the mud. Why? Because you believe you're doing the right thing. But if it ain't presenting no rewards, ain't giving you nothing, you still believe it's good? Moving on. But along with your devotion, here we go. This is the part I love right here. Along with your devotion, like prayers, your actions, ding, 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 your deeds must be pure. My feet running right now. I'm thinking about my mother-in-law. Why? Because when I get excited, my feet start moving. So that's what's going on right now. Like the duck he's in the pond, he's cool and smooth, looking around. You always say he's just chilling. But if you look in that water and see that feet, he's running like a mom, trying to still flow. I love that example, but that's how I feel. But when your actions, again, are unrighteous, here we go. This is the part y'all sneaky, deceitful people don't understand. When your actions are unrighteous, not your thoughts. No, not your intentions. When your actions are unrighteous, you are fettering your consciousness. Why? Because you're doing things that you're going to have to pay for. Oh, this is perfect. Prison. In Russia, they got a place called the Black Dolphin. They put you there for whatever crimes you committed. And all your thinking from that point on is just sit and think about what you did. That's how you beat the conscience. I say, no, that might be a harsher punishment. That's punishment. That's punishment for your butt. Okay? Trust me. Deterrent from doing things, that's a good way to do it. That new prison they got in El Salvador, some of this stuff got to stop. So you got to put harsher punishment out. Why? To deter people from doing it. Moving on. You are fretting your own personality. Again, remember, out of ignorance, you will act. You will do. And guess what? Everything you do, you're responsible for. The sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. Hopefully, if you knew better, you should do better. That's why knowledge of God is better than belief in God. Belief ain't enough to deter you from doing nonsense. Well, God will forgive me. He's all forgiving. No. God's a punisher. Don't forget that. Oh, that's karma. Don't worry. The unrighteous, your unrighteous act itself is what we call a fetter of your personality. You did it. You did it. I sold drugs. I did everything bad and wrong, and I was a willing participant. I did it willingly, knowingly, and enjoyed when I was doing it. That's the caveat. You're going to have some fun. You're going to get, but then there's a price to pay. That's the devil's cut. The devil cut is your consequences for your devilish action. Blessings is your cut you get from God for righteous action. You see where we're going with this? It's real simple. This is perfect right here. When you do an unrighteous act, you did it. And guess what? You will pay for it. Why? Because it causes you to be conscious of your ego. And you already know that's what you're serving. You just serving yourself, or AKA yourself as an individual. If you don't understand this, you ain't getting the car. This is the whole concept. When you individual of yourself as your mortal being, that means you're ignorant of who you really are. God, you think you're mortal. So again, you serving what? Yourself. And you're separate from God, the divine. Again, I keep using, but the divine is God. When you separate yourself from God, that's the ego. It pushes God aside. I got this. Okay. I said, okay, have at it. And what's going to happen? He's going to let you go into the ego leads you to the dead end where you got nothing and he can't help you. Now, what? Looking for God? God, God is the ultimate parent who knows way in advance what's going to happen to you. My mom is good at that. I know now. Well, we all been young. So again, young people, listen to your parents. They know a few things. They wasn't born parents. I used to tell my son all that. Look, my man, I ain't trying to be in your business. I ain't got time for that. Understand? I know. So don't try to play me. Okay, move on. And that's again, be honest with your parents. If I'm going to defend you, I need to be able to trust you. Moving on. But if you act magnanimously with what? Purity, righteousness, yes. And now the burden of your personalities is lifted. Why? You're doing good stuff. You're going to be rewarded for doing good stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry about that. That's my sister saying good morning. All right, always getting in the middle of what I'm doing. Sorry about that. But when you're doing right, the burden of what? Guilt, all the negative stuff is lifted. You're doing good deeds. I no longer got to carry that burden. Why? I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right side now, doing things I need to be doing. That's why. And why is this? When you start coming into what? Harmony. That means when what you're doing coincides with how you're living and everything just seems to go good. Okay, that's harmony with what? The cosmic order, aka the force, is with you. The Star Wars did it best. They portrayed it so y'all young generation, y'all eat it up. I'm loving it because, okay, but if it's a positive understanding, I'm with it. But if it's just to be manipulated and I ain't with that. But watch this. But so now you will be lifted from what? Watch this. Your lower nature, Saul Set, physical, sexual pleasures, okay, to what? Devotion and the right thinking, which leads to right action. And this will remove one's fetters from your personality, meaning you'll stop doing the negative things. And one's mind become now what? Unlimited. Like my man introduced it. Think unlimited, right? I say think right. Think unlimited, that's thinking, right? I got no problem with that. I like the people who got the same concept but put it in different frames. That means we thinking different but the same. And that's right to be done. Why? Your own ideas, your own concept. That's what you do. That's what I'm doing. My brother's like, man, make up your own. I ain't got time for that nonsense. I can just teach what I learned. Simple. Me doing it my way is my own. That's it. But then now, after making a change from the lower nature to higher nature, it is possible to start to fathom the depths of what? Creation and the infinity of your spirit. It's eternal. It's forever. It's not on no schedule. It's not, physical body is just to mention it, but the spirit is eternal. That's the whole concept. And the mummies that were wrapped all have a special bandage. Okay? Now, I didn't subscribe to that wrapping the body up, preserving it. I'm not a blind leader follower. No, I got some concepts of my own. If my spirit come back to the body that died, I don't want that body back. Well, the body got rid of that with bullets. So all that, the body, and never one of the physical dead bodies came up and did a damn thing. So all that, y'all talking about 144,000, man, I'm not riding that horse, period, okay? You ain't gonna win no race with that nonsense, trust me. But again, you got the right to believe what you want. I got a concept. I'm listening. The spirit ain't coming back to the body. You can wrap it all the hell you want. Ain't nothing coming back. Moving on. But that is placed over what? The mouth. That means you can't speak in the afterlife. You got no say so. And this is the concept right here. I like this. But now symbolically, here we go. Symbolically is called Sahusat. Somebody under the negative influence. You got no say so in the righteous world. See, right there. And when Sahu Set is there, what that mean? You cannot touch the mummy. I mean, you got no say-so in the next round. With the Sabru, that's the instrument you see they use to call the pry the mouth open, called the opening of the way. That's what Anuba's job is, to open your mouth to get you able to speak in the afterlife, okay, if you pass. But this to recall, remember the Sabru glyphs, it discussed previously, I talked about it, but it's all about the teachings. Okay, the teachings was important. Learning from a Sabu, which is what is SBA or SBAIA, which is Sabu. It means Sabra is the great Sabu, which is the teacher, and it's an instrument. It also relates to what they call the great star in the sky that illuminates the great enlightenment. They consider it. Watch this. This instrument is a metaphor. Watch this. Of the great Sabah, SBA, the star that the great star in the North Star, y'all call it the North Star, North Polar Star, but it's the great star in the sky, what? That illumines, what? That the great enlightenment, and this is an instrument, and it's a metaphor for what? That illumine perennially, I mean every year. And they call it Akhumu Urdu, a.k.a. the North Pole Star. We all know about it in celestial, astrological stuff. Y'all fully aware of that. But watch this. This is a star where it never fades. It stays placed. So one who is touched by the great star, once you become enlightened, all right, now you are fully illumined. You are considered to be enlightened. And we got a name for that. And watch this. And not like ordinary ignorant people who are only what? Partially enlightened, fragments, concepts and ideas. But people who are acquired, these fragments of knowledge, but who what? Do not achieve the highest attainment, aka full enlightenment, can be likened to what? To someone waking up, alarm clock wake them up, they get up, but then they go back to sleep. Okay? They didn't move. They just, they're going to go snooze a little while longer. That means they're not ready. They still want a little while longer to stay ignorant, stay asleep. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. If you want to live in a dream, go to sleep. Just sleep. That dream world, you can stay there as long as you want. It's never going to be real. Why? Because once you wake up, you realize, I'm right back. I'm right. I ain't went, hello. So separate the difference and know the difference between the two. Sleeping is for rest, restoration for the physical body. This don't need it. Why? It don't stop. Moving on. So watch this. Sahu Set. Remember, that's being an influence of the physical negative aspect. Your ego must be lifted from the mouth to uncover the mouth. That means ignorance have to be removed. So now the mouth can what? Be open. The mouth is what we call an instrument of creation from which what? Words come. Let there be. See, we're going just hecker. Call it words. Words of power. Words have power. There's power in words. We take that for granted. We cuss and sing spells all the time. You just don't even have a clue. Okay, but I just had very good understanding of that. And watch this. Now through the mouth, we what? We express the what? The thought. The thought here goes here and is exercised. Thought takes the form of what? Ideas and desires. Desire, idea, heart, mind, coherence. They create action, usually emotions leading the way. How you feel is going to lead the way. And thus, we what? We talk our way into situations that we find ourselves in. A lot of times, we say and do things different. If it's for the wrong agenda, unrighteous act, you already know where that's going. But when we do the right thing, you good to go. We can create, watch this, here you go, because of Maya, we are able to create bad situations as well as good ones. Is that not choice? And what we're saying, if you're ignorant, it's hard to make a good decision without having an understanding from both things, good, bad, knowing right from wrong. And now the decision you make is based on what? What you know. If you know something yours is wrong, have at it, okay? That means what you get from doing it, the consequences, is what you deserve. That's how karma is. It don't change in the scenario. It's the same thing for any and everybody. That's why, oh, no, you ain't no different. No different. Understand that God don't pick and choose, all right? You do. You the individual. You the choice maker. And that's what Mayat represents. Watch this. And this is why it is admonished in the teachings that we must become, you ready? Makaru. That means what? Truer speech. If what they say don't match what they do, they lying. Truer speech is makaru. You balancing out what you're saying with your actions. That's what I've been living for the last 20 years. I love it. Why? Because it keeps you right where you need to be. I don't concern myself with a whole bunch of stuff. Why? Nothing to do with me. I'm doing me. At one time, it considered selfish and conceited. Now it's understood as he's a different dude. Thank you. That's why I want you to respect. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not who you know. I know who I am. And to you, he's different. Thank you. To me, that's respect. When they can't label you, you're doing something right. If they think you crazy because of your action, your words, you might want to look in the mirror. Moving on. So all that, what they think, what's they thinking? Why they think it? Cause and effect. If they think this, or what's causing them to think that? Moving on. Use your same stuff that you used on you. See if it worked. Instead of pointing it outward, point it inward. Take the gun and put it to you. See if you pass the truth test. Moving on. All right. Of knowing thyself. We can't create. Okay, got that back. So watch this. But this is why it's admonishing the teachers. Because once you speak Makaru, if Medunetta, the hieroglyphic text, the first writings, contain this philosophy in ancient Kemet, if it's mastered, there you go, then the spiritual, right thinking aspirant, now they become Makaru, or what we call true of thought, right thinking, true words, and deeds. That is what they call purified in body, mind, and soul. We've been teaching that since ancient times. Now, you can carve it, dress it up any way you want. It's still the same thing. I'm just telling you, I know how to get to God. Why? Our ancients laid it out for us. Moving on. Well, I don't care about Christ. Could care less about the Bible. That's not my issue. It's not my teachings. Mine is from ancient. That's all. Understand that. We got no problem. Let's go. Now, Makaru. When you taking care of your mind, body, and spirit, that's what it's all about. Thus, right thinking philosophy, aka she taught Netta, it means the mysteries, the rituals, and wisdom philosophy that when practiced will elevate you to another level about Netta, the supreme being. You will get to God. They're telling you this is how to get to God. And it's all related in what? The Shetet too. That means the writings, they put it down and related to the hidden teachings. It wasn't for everybody. You had to come and get it. You come and get it. Why? We ain't going to solicit it to any and everybody. They understood that. I'm starting to understand it. I agree. Why? About my views. Everybody ain't doing this. I understand that too. And what's this? And those writings are referred to as what we know today, the Medunetta. Or the definition of Medunetta is the divine speech, the writings of God, a.k.a. Tahuti. He represents the mind of God. The ibis-headed man, that's God's mind. Everybody got a God messenger. Mercury for the Romans, and Thoth, which is our offspring from us, Tahuti, Hermes. All these are just God messengers. Jesus, another messenger. Okay, all messengers. That's all. That's all. Moving on. And from our ancient Egyptian gods, the divine word. Okay? It also refers to what? Any commissioned hieroglyphic text or the inscription that's generally. So words in right speech, along with right thinking, are extremely important in the Netterian spirituality. Why? They want you to have knowledge and understanding. That's why blind faith means nothing. If you speak wrongly, you are creating what? Negative actions, deeds, unconsciously, your mental impressions that impel what? The desires of the mind, which lead to your karmic basis. Bad action out, bad reaction coming back. Good action out, good reaction coming back. That's always been the way, not man's, God's. But your negative karma accumulated over what? Previously, years, lifetimes. That negative leads to what? Dullness of the mind, aka ignorance of oneself, as well as now the inability to fully understand the teachings, and they will avoid the complications and the miseries of life if they learned them, but they choose not to. So now they got to suffer through the pains and the anguish that they put through themselves. Those are fetters. You did it to yourself. You caused your own problem. If your mouth is covered, can't speak, that means you can't speak. And what it means, you cannot express your consciousness. Whatever you're thinking is null and void. Why? Because it's wrong. Right thinking will be heard. Wrong thinking, nullified. That's what they mean. Your mouth will be shut. You cannot live properly with wrong thinking, wrong actions. So you cannot work out what life's true mysteries that need to be what? Experienced and lived. That's what it's all about. You had to experience it. But now, to open one's mouth, what must you do? You must have purity of heart. Change what you were doing. Listen to the heart. Connect with the mind. You see where we're going, Des? You must have righteousness. And that process begins with what? Ushu, Aushu, or Ushat. That means faith and devotion. That means the faith you have in devotion, you're going to put the work in to get what you want, like prayer without works. And wrapping it up, Ushu or Ushat means devotion. I told you previously about the philosophy of the culture of a civilization. Now we can have devotion, but watch this. What is the devotion being directed to? Again, my point. Remember the ancient Commission rituals of the boat, meaning sailing, okay, being practiced by who? The modern day Muslims. Watch this. Everybody, the boat concept of God, coming the sun, going across the sky. Watch this. It's practiced by modern day Muslims. What are they devoting that ritual to? Do they know? Nope. Can you say that they are practicing the ancient Commission ritual? No. Why? Because they are devoting that concept. They devoted it to what? A Muslim saint, and not to the supreme divinity like the Christian devote to Jesus. They are practicing the ritual of higher divinity God, okay? The tradition, but the original meaning is lost or misinterpreted, or more importantly, corrupted, and now you have a new tradition. If the old one's working, why you need a new one? But now the new tradition, they co-opted it, meaning they tinker with it, they tamper with it, okay? Now you must be devoted to what? The divine in the proper way, not fanatically. I tell you, I'm not a fan of God. I don't do God, no. I serve him. I'm a servant of God. Why? I know him personally. Moving on, that's why. And I don't follow the dogmatic leaders, y'all preachers, not just ritualistically. Every Sunday, y'all go through the ritual, but with understanding and with the idea of discovering the divine for yourself as the very essence of oneself. Everybody had to know God for themselves. My job to get you there by letting you know how to, and you take the rest on you. Put the work in. That's the devotion part. Here and now. That's just here and now. And not waiting for what some future heaven. You can't get to heaven not living right here in this life. Didn't tell you that part? Oh, I thought if I just said believe in Jesus and then I'll go through it. It don't work that way. Watch this. I'm about to get to the good part. This is what Netarianism is all about. Nihas. That means the resurrection, a.k.a. spiritual awakening. Waking up to realize who you are. God. Watch this. While still here in the flesh, your boy did it. So Ushu, devotion, leads to what? Nafu, which is what? Freedom. Freedom mind, the body will follow. Freedom from who? Sauset. Freedom from the fetters of set, your lower nature, in which is your what? Your own ego. Hello, right there. But when you show devotion to a higher self, that will lead you to freedom from what? Your lower nature, your ego, your self-desires, your pleasures, and your individuality. Why? Because if you are devoting yourself to God, watch this, not yourself, watch this. This opens this thing right here, heart, so that now you cannot be egoistic. I got a pastor, my best friend. He takes no credit for nothing he do. He give it all to God. I understand the concept. I get it. It says right there, he not egoistic. Ego is saying, well, I did. He takes no credit. I understand that. Why? I got the same concept. Because, watch this, there is something more magnanimous, greater in me that's in the world than you, your ego personality. That's tell you right there. Y'all got the same concept. I had the same thing too. Moving on. Those who are egoistic, watch this, selfish and greedy. These are all qualities and aspects of your character. They do not worship anyone beside what? Themselves and objects, money, the desires of others who are more egoistic and watch this, greedier and richer than are. Every rich person wants to outrich the rich person. I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire, I'm a trillionaire. All ego. Watch this. That's true idolatry right there. You idolizing money. You worshiping that dollar bill. Okay? And those lower objects, all physical things of the world, I don't give a crap about. They become their god and goddesses. We live in a capitalist society. Everybody love money. I got a phrase. I don't have a dime, but I represent wealth. Okay? I'm rich in spirit. I don't need money for that. God don't want your money. Hell, the devil don't even want your money. He wants your loyalty. He wants your worship. See, that's the difference. And watch this. Now, for all you ignorant people, you are ignorant and you are unrighteous. You are more acutely, those objects of your lower worship are the demons. That's the true demon. The thing that you worship, money, materialistic stuff. And watch this. Because what? Following them, wanting them, and when you obtain them, they lead to what? Pain and suffering, what? Afterwards. When you get what you want, that girl that you chasing, but now what you got? See, again, if you don't plan, you're planning to fail. And if your agenda is of what? Pleasures of the flesh and monetary gains, they go nowhere. That's the concept of devotion to God. I want to help others help themselves. That's a good thing to do. That's why I do what I do. For you, that's a lesson. That's a great lesson. Number 3, I got one more coming up for you. Number 4. Oh, Lord, this took a little while. I'm sorry, but I hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoy giving it. So, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me 100 minus a day. So I know none of my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be right back.